Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reviewing the all new Nike ZoomFly 5. We've done 100 miles in it now, so it's time to give you my completely full, unbiased review. So let's get this video done. It's great to see you joining us here for another review video. If you're new around here, why not consider subscribing? Just hit that button down below. Right, on with the video. We're going to split this video up into 5 different sections, so feel free to move your mouse around below. We're going to go through a couple of interesting facts and figures about this shoe, then all of the facts and figures, and then we're going to go through my likes, my dislikes, and then that final conclusion of, is this going to be going into my rotation? So let's get stuck into a few interesting features about the new ZoomFly 5. So starting out, although Nike are billing this as a Zoom X shoe, there is some Zoom X in this shoe, but it's not a full Zoom X midsole in here like you would get with some of their higher end shoes. So it's a little bit on the weighty side. Basically, if you can look inside this little hatch on the bottom here, well, you can't open that, and you can see they've used some recycled Zoom X foam in there that's all sort of being glued together, and then it's surrounded by this SRO2 EVA foam to keep it nice and protected. So this is not a lightweight racing shoe, which sometimes people think with that Zoom X thing there. It is essentially sort of a long run cruisy shoe. And then finally, although they're calling this ZoomFly, it is very different from the first 4 iterations of this shoe. And really, I don't really think, in my opinion, they should have called this a ZoomFly. It's more like a Pegasus Pro or something like that. It's a complete redesign, very, very different from those outgoing models. So with that, let's get stuck into all of the facts and figures. Starting out, this is coming in around about £145. Of course, I bought this 100% with my own money off the Nike website, so around about that $160 mark. There's a 40mm stack at the back and a 32mm stack at the front. Very maximal, max cushioned shoes, and that's giving us around about that 8mm drop. Coming on to the weight, we're going to be talking about this a little bit today. About 359 grams here in my UK size 12. Very much on the heavier side for this type of shoe. As I say, we'll touch on that a little bit later on. It's a neutral shoe and very much what I would call a training shoe. Of course, you could go and do races in this, but this is essentially what Nike billing this as something to do a lot of your training runs in, and I would definitely go along with that. There is a plate running through the shoe. I don't think this is a carbon plate. I haven't been able to find out exactly what it is. In my opinion, it's going to be one of the new nylon plates. There's a dual layer upper, this 2-layer upper. And on the outside, you've got this sort of waxy feel, mesh knit material. Yeah, super comfortable, super breathable as well. Really good sort of airflow going through there. There's no gusset in the tongue in there. If you can see through, we'll put some better shots up on the screen. But there's no slipping around with that, so it's absolutely fine. There's really thick rubber here on the outsole at the front and the back, so good for heel strikers, good for your midfoot strikers as well. After 100 miles, really not much wear and tear on that. I do land on the outside, so that's where it's wearing down a little bit, but yeah, pretty good so far. This is very much, I'd say, a road shoe. You could do some very light trails on this, no problem at all. Really that sort of good grip. Haven't been able to test it out in the wet yet. We just haven't had any rain in London for so long, but with how good the grip is in the dry, I'd think it should be pretty good in the wet as well. There's no different widths available, just standard width, but really good amount of space up at the front of this shoe, so no real concerns there. And then finally, got this in my regular size 12 and it fitted just perfectly, so very much true to size. Right, let's get stuck in with those likes. So today's question of the day is, how important for you is weight when you're looking at a shoe? This is the controversial point with this shoe. It's a little bit on the heavy side. When you're doing your research online, how important is that in factoring out which shoe purchase you are going to be buying? I'd love to know your thoughts on weight and running shoes. Let us know in the comments down below. So the first like I'm going to say here is comfort. This has been a really comfortable shoe. As soon as you put it on, It just feels right. It wants to go out for a run. Now, I did have some hot spots after my first run, which was around about a 20k run up in Glasgow along the canal, and I had a few hot spots where my feet were landing, but they went away soon after on the second runs and all the other runs I've done so far. So something to think about in those early runs. As I said earlier, very nice and breathable, good airflow through here. We've got a bit of a heat wave, as I said, in here in the UK, but yeah, not heating up really at all. Good lockdown. Haven't used the heel lock sections here at the top. Just haven't felt I needed to. Just got a really nice lockdown with how the laces are working together there. Really enjoying this sort of very simple heel design. Just there's nothing spectacular to it. Just working, no Achilles pain or anything like that, no heel slips at the back of the shoe. So really top marks for that sort of level of comfort and level of just enjoyment when I've been out running. The second like I'm going to say is fun and durability, basically, because it's a shoe that wants to go faster. I've been using this for a lot of easy and steady state sort of tempo runs, which is really where this shoe comes to life, and it just wants to go faster. It gets you nicely up on your toes and it's enjoyable. Also, really got to touch on this sort of durability. They've got this other foam surrounding all the outside to make it nice and durable. It's adding to that weight, but on the flip side of that, we're getting a really nice durable shoe. Minimal wear so far, so going to have many, many happy kilometers in this shoe. And my third like I'm going to call efficiency. I just feel I've just been covering the ground a little bit better than I would in some other shoes. It's a very hard thing to put into exact data, but simply when I'm out running and I sort of with how I'm feeling, I look down at my watch, I'm thinking, that's about 10 seconds a K faster than how I'm feeling. I just feel like the shoe's doing a lot there, the plate's working, the foam's working, and just covering the ground really quite nicely. Probably coupled with that thing of it making you want to go a little bit faster as well. Right, let's get stuck in to the dislikes. Starting out with my first dislike, and it's got to be the weight of this shoe. For me, just about 360 grams. It's just really heavy. And sometimes when you get heavier shoes, something like, although it's a trail shoe, the new Zagama that's out at the moment, yes, it's heavy, it's bulky, it's got this other foam in it as well with the Zoom X, but you're getting a lot of cushioning for those long runs, and that's where that shoe is doing well for me. But with this, I'm just like, it's adding all that extra weight, but I'm not sure I'm getting any benefit from that. But essentially, it is a training shoe. You can go out and you do your training runs in it. It doesn't matter that much. Some people might say you're doing a little bit more extra work out there on your training runs as well with that weight. But it's something to point out. It's something that not everybody will like. If you're looking for something like an endorphin speed sort of replacement or alternative, or if we could ever find a new Pegasus Turbo 1, this is really not going to be that. It's a little bit heavy, a little bit of a bruiser, basically, when you're out there on your runs. And my second dislike is I'm just not really sure where this shoe fits into the lineup. It's really hard to know why this shoe even exists. Basically, you could say it's similar to sort of something like an Invincible, which is just a good, easy recovery run shoe. It's a little bit faster than that, but then you could just buy the Tempo Next Percent, or just do all of your daily runs in the Pegasus 39, or there's plenty of shoes from other brands, of course. The best shoe in this sort of sector, I really think, is something like the Saucony Speed, which I still need to do a few more miles in. It just doesn't really fit in anywhere, and for nearly £150 worth of money, a shoe that is essentially something just for doing those easy, steady state tempo runs, it's quite a big investment in money for something that really has that sort of limited appeal. I wouldn't particularly want to be doing my interval sessions, my faster reps. Again, there's better shoes you can be doing in that. Just the Pegasus 39. The Streakfly and things like that. I'm just really not sure where it fits in the line, and I personally wouldn't want to be doing any racing in it either, because again, there's some better options out there. So that's it, guys. My thoughts after 100 miles in this shoe. And is it going into my rotation? Well, yeah, it is. I am enjoying running in this shoe. I can't deny. As I say, for those steady state, those tempo runs, it's really doing very well, and it does that very nicely. When I'm training for the Berlin and training for Valencia, those sort of runs I like to do, which is easy, up to marathon pace, back to easy, it's going to cover the ground really well, and I'm not going to wear out the Vaporflies and Alphaflies and things. It's quite a lot of money for something that has a very niche use, and I'd struggle to particularly recommend it. I don't think I'm going to be buying any more pairs of ZoomFlies. I'll use this one. up to its normal use life, and then that will be that. So as always, guys, let me know down in the comments, what do you think of this shoe? What do you think of the colorway? I think this is really nice. I love these colors that Nike are introducing at the moment. And yeah, have you tried it? Have you tested it? Let me know your thoughts down below and how you're getting on. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in for another video. If you haven't already, please check out the website. Loads of training plans on there to help with your running and hitting your goals as well. The best running hats in the business and some merch on there to help support the channel as well. I'm off to get some more runs in way more shoes and test them out to help you with your running shoe purchases. So all the best with your training and racing, and we will see you very soon in the next one.